Okay, so this is from You Were Born for a Reason, and it is chapter 25, page 176. So this is how our mind will change once we have our dark mind eliminated. The path, once hated, becomes a delight. How is it possible to enjoy perfect freedom in a world filled with constraints? It is difficult to explain in terms that everyone can understand, but perhaps the following story will give some idea. A young boy took a path over a mountain every day on his way to and from school. On days when he stayed late for some after school activity, the mountain would be scarily dark on his way home. In summer, the sun burned fiercely hot, and in winter, he was often forced to crouch down amid the howling winds of a blizzard. Rain turned the hilly path to a cataract. Filled with resentment, the boy would frequently mutter to himself, if only the school were closer, if only this mountain weren't here. Then one day a pretty little girl transferred to his school. As it turned out, she was from his same village. The two of them began walking to and from school together, chatting about how far the way was and how deserted the mountain. In no time, they were fast friends. On their way home one afternoon, a sudden cloudburst hit them. The rain showed no sign of letting up. Between them, they had only one umbrella. The little girl's. Finding himself cozily sharing an umbrella with her, the boy prayed silently all the way home. Don't let the rain stop. Let the mountain be more deserted. Let the village be farther away. The things that had previously tormented him, the great length, difficulty, and isolation of the mountain path, had not changed, and yet they no longer gave him concern. Once obstacles to the boy's pleasure, they now became part and parcel of it. Everyone has probably had a similar experience at one point or another. Yeah, it's a cute story and kind of heartwarming story. And I think we have similar experiences like that in our lives. For many people, perhaps when they fall in love, they feel this way. So yeah, they feel they can overcome any obstacles. You know, they can work hard to rent a house for the two of them, or rent an apartment. They can do anything to overcome the hardships because their state of mind is so bright. You know, when we are in love, a lot of good hormones are produced, and we are optimistic. Even though we don't have money, we think we can manage everything. So that's the power of the mind. But in this story, or in Buddhism, it's about when we obtain a bright mind, a mind of light, that is. Light meaning knowing why we are born or why we live life, where we're going. Are we just born to suffer? So when we don't have an answer to these questions, it is thought our mind is in a state of darkness. You know, when you say, like, when it comes to French language, I'm in the dark. That means I cannot speak anything French. I can only say merci beaucoup. Thank you. That's all. So I'm in the dark. That means I don't know about it. So when it comes to life's ultimate purpose or true happiness, Buddha teaches we are all in the dark because since we were born unconsciously, I mean, we started breathing, we're trying to survive. Um, and then as we know who we are, we're like, well, why am I here? Well, we have no clue, but we're trying to make the best of it. But we don't know the real reason or how we can truly enjoy life. We are still in the dark. But if we uh, have an encounter with the happiness that never abandons us, so in this story, it's like this little girl is symbolic of that, that's always by your side. Once we encounter that true happiness that never abandons us, then we can realize all the hardships we went through, everything was for this encounter, and I'm so grateful that I experienced this absolute happiness. Then the steepness of the mountain, the how lonely it is that there are not many people around, and that it might start raining cats and dogs and stormy, all these things are no longer give us much of a concern as long as we are continually with this beloved, what Rumi calls the beloved, or the absolute happiness that never abandons us or moves away from our sight. That's coming face to face to our true self, the genuine self, and that's when we experience true happiness. So good job everyone for being here practicing together. We're gonna have our ABCs of Buddhism in 30 minutes, 7 a.m. Pacific. And yeah, have a wonderful Sunday. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you, Gary, and everybody. Have a good Sunday.